or you are doing what you are loving, because you have identified that skill, identified that potential, and that is alone being expressed, would that ever bore you? Would you ever feel burnt out? You may feel tired at the end of the day, but that tiring feeling is very satisfying. When you complete the chore, you complete the job, you complete the day's work, and you come back and say, I deserve the sleep. Because I have really cherished every moment. Mahashaktihi. To find that Shakti which expresses as the potential, which expresses as the connection to that Paramatma, and which expresses out as in every interaction with the world outside. Mahabuddhir Mahaviryo Mahashaktihi. Mahashaktihi, the all-powerful. You feel empowered, and this word is being used quite a bit, right? Need somebody come and empower us? They talk about, women empowerment, right? They talk about, what are the other empowerments? Youth empowerment, right? Yep. Can anybody from outside come and empower us? The moment this buddhi is connected with that Paramatma, you recognize that hidden talent, virya, and that starts expressing. That is when you start feeling empowered. In fact, there is no you feeling it. There's that empowered, inspired being in expression. And one such individual can transform the world. If you look at these masters, they have not worked more than 15-20 years max. Vivekananda, by the time he reached Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he was about 18-19 years old. By the time he left his body, he was about 36-37 years old. How many years did he give to the world? About 18 years. Adi Shankaracharya, he started when he was about 8-9 years old. By the time he actually started stepping out and serving the society, he was about 16 years old, and he left this world at the age of 32. I mean, all this immense work that he has done, how many years has he spent? 16 years. He must have been constantly saying it, and there must have been scribes writing it, proofreading it simultaneously. And that much amount of work that he has done. One person who is connected to that source within, connected to that Paramatma, and expresses out with that inspired empowerment in expression, they don't feel tired, there is no rest. Somebody came and asked Gurudev, what do you do in your downtime? When he was there in some interview. So Gurudev laughed. And he said, in my downtime, I talk to people like you. So he said, but when I've been following you for 3-4 days, you've been talking. He said, dear, my entire life is a downtime. I mean, they give so much, but there is no pressure of that. There is only cherished moments in every moment. If you look back year by year, for that entire year, say you're being nostalgic and you go back 20 years, 30 years, for every year, to recognize that year, to remember that year, how many glorious moments are there? For each year, not for the entire life. For each year, a couple of them, handful of them. Right? Sometimes when I talk and do workshop on that, I do it with adults. It's a very sinking feeling. For a couple of years, there is one or two such events. Like for 2-3 years, there is one event. So if they have lived a 40-year life or a 50-year life, there's hardly about 20-22 moments. A very sad life. When you look back in 50 years and you have only about a handful of moments to say that, I really cherished those moments. What happened to the rest of the life? Here is a life wherein every moment lived is a cherished moment, inspired moment. Mahabuddhir Mahaviryo Mahashaktihi. And then continuing, he says, Mahadyutihi. Mahadyutihi expresses as, when that empowerment, when it starts expressing, its glow. Dyuti means, it's a glow. Glow of what? Dyuti also means the Shobha. I believe for this entire Chitrakoot, what is the Shobha of this Chitrakoot? I would say this particular beautiful frame, isn't it? So when you look at things, my entire life, what is a Shobha? Is it just one corner? That is why, talking about Krishna, there is this beautiful, beautiful poem which says, Adharam Madhuram, Nayanam Madhuram, Hasitam Madhuram, Chalitam Madhuram. Every aspect of his being is nothing but sweetness alone. He is a Lord of sweetness. We saw that also in the Madhu. That word had already come. Because it is that Mahadyutihi. And in order to find that glow, you don't need to, do the, what do you call, the face scrubbing and facials and layers and layers of treatments to find the texture and the tone of the skin and it glows. You don't need any such. You connect within and it starts glowing through. Because every action will carry that spark in it. And when you read, you can tell who has written it, right? Like one day I was in a train journey and somebody was listening over some earphones on their MP3. And as the train journey proceeded, the people, vendors and things, they subsided, the sounds all, in spite of that train sound, and I could start hearing what he was hearing. So it was on some Vedantic. You very rarely come across people who would be listening to such. And I was amazed that they were listening to something like that. And I paid little more attention to what was the content, and there was a smile on my face. The smile was because I recognized this must have been somebody trained in Chinmaya Mission. So the signature, as I call it, in Hindi they call it chhap. You can find it. When somebody cooks, it is their signature, right? You can start seeing it. Now these people, when they function, that glow is their signature. So whatever little bit that they do, it expresses forth 100% in it. Whether they write a letter, and I have seen one such, so I can only vouch for it. When we used to serve Gurudev, every tiny little bit that he would do was so keenly paid attention to. Like by the time he would wake up and open the door, and we would rush in to set his bed, the bed would look as if, did somebody sleep in here at all? It would have already been set in. Even the clothes that should go for the laundry would have been meticulously folded. One of the often quoted example is, usually when we write letter and when we are writing something and the sentence formation or whatever, it didn't come out good. What do you do with that paper? You have scribbled it out and it doesn't look good. What do you do with that paper? You crumble it and then throw it into the trash. Even such paper, first of all, he'll check the other side. If it is empty, if it is still to be written, he'll put it on the side. He'll do all his calculations and different things and notes and other things that he'll write. And once the whole paper on both sides is filled, then he would sit down, fold it, as if he was going to mail it to somebody. He would fold it several times, very neatly, and then along the grease, he would tear it up as if there is a shredding machine working. And very respectfully, he will put it into the trash. When he would eat, and after he would eat, you look at the plate, it looks like nobody ever used that plate. It will be clean. And every job that was done with such immaculate perfection. And that can be achieved only when that duty is coming, reflecting forth. Then life is not seen as a burden. Then life is seen as a joy. In today's vocabulary, I would say, then life itself is a vacation. Wherein you don't need to find another place or a venue or an event to go think and say, let me have a break, enjoy that, come back to this wretched world again. Every moment is that beautiful moment. Mahabuddhir Mahaviryo Mahashaktir Mahadyutihi. How is that experience? Maybe I already have that experience, I only don't recognize it. See, if you already have the experience, you won't ask this question. When you're eating food, don't you know when your stomach is full? I remember when I was very young, maybe 3.5, 4 years old, or I don't even remember what age. There is one particular specific kind of dosa, and it is called paper dosa. We used to call it paper dosa. They are very thin, crisp, but it's so tasty, you can't stop with one. And if somebody is serving right there, my grandmother, she would put, there were about 30, 35 of us, and everybody she would feed about 10, 12 of them. So there's a big, huge pan, and there will be like simultaneously 6, 7 going on around. So I must have been 3.5, 4 years old. I must have overeaten, stuffed myself. So that the pajamas that I was wearing had become tight. It started hurting my stomach. I did not know why it was hurting. And the dosas, especially after you eat, you start feeling more thirsty. And these, you end up drinking more water. So I had already overstuffed, and then again water. The stomach must have been really full, and it was hurting. So I go with my hurting stomach to my grandmother. I say, "It's all because of you. Who asked you to make such good dosas? No, my stomach is hurting." At that age, I can understand when you don't know when to stop. But don't we know? Can we say that probably I don't know, I may have missed it? You can't experience that satiation, that completeness that you feel. It cannot be missed. No, but still, how do you explain that experience of completeness? So the next word says, Anirdeshya vapuhu. Anirdeshya vapuhu. Anirdeshyam. Anirdeshyam. That which cannot be described. The moment we say Paramatma cannot be described, or God cannot be described, or the experience of God cannot be described, then people, those who are of the thinking kind, immediately dismiss. They are just making stories. They have no such experience. Therefore, they are trying to hide behind this charade of words, wherein they don't want to accept that they don't have an experience. Because now they have to explain and cannot explain it, put it in words. Therefore, they escape cop out through saying Anirdeshya. Cannot be explained. Why? Indescribable. You take any material experience, any experience, something which gives you utmost joy. What is the thing that gives you utmost joy? There are many things. And these many things can be different to different people. But one thing is common, that everybody loves it. You know what it is? Sleep. Doesn't the entire humanity love sleeping? Especially good sleep. Okay, when you have had good sleep some days, right? Put it in words. Explain. It was good. Okay, proceed further. You don't have words. So the one who has slept alone will know. Okay, that is what the scripture is also trying to say. The one who has experienced it alone knows it. Yo yas vedaha sayeva vedaha. The one who experiences it alone can understand it. The others try to speak about it or listen about it. Those who experience it can alone know it. For the rest of us, indescribable. cannot be put in words. Okay, if not sleeping, what else is, next thing that we really enjoy? Food. What kind of food is not what I am asking. Food in general. And each one of us has some comfort food, don't we? So you have gone out on a tour, say for back to back 3 weeks. Even the weekends you could not come back home. What is a comfort food? That which as soon as you come, you demand for. I know what it is for me. Now, I am not going to tell it out because then it will become the most discomfort food. Whatever is that comfort food or that which you really cherish and enjoy, the moment you put it in your mouth, swaha, you end up saying aha. Finger licking good. You lick all your 5 fingers, and that time somebody comes and asks, how is it? Oh, it is amazing. Okay, point taken. Explain more. Try to put it in words. Can you really explain that? It was awesome, amazing. It was just like what my mother would have cooked. Does it explain that experience? Even the material experience, that which we constantly experience, which cannot be put in words. That which is beyond the intellect, which the intellect cannot grasp, cannot conceive. How do you expect to put that experience into words? So instead of searching for that in words, the instruction here in this shloka is, go back to the source. What is the source? The first word of this shloka. What is the first word of this shloka? Maha buddhihi. Let that buddhi open up beyond the grips of the stupid entity called ego. Once that opens up, you don't need to use words. You reach that experience, you reach that potential, and you express that glow. Anirdeshya vapuhu. And when such great masters when that is the glow expressing, which cannot be described in words. So somebody came to Gurudev and said, Swamiji, you are doing an awesome job. So Gurudev looked at him and he said, next time you see God, next time you go to the temple or somewhere and you see God, thank Him. Because it is He who is expressing. And in another time, very explicitly he says, he was in the Prayaga, Triveni Sangam. So near Prayag, which is today called as Allahabad, there Ganga and Yamuna ji meet. So he just got down, took some waters and left the Arghya. So there were a lot of devotees around him. So somebody asked him, Swamiji, they say it is Triveni Sangama, that Yamuna and Gangaji can be seen. Where is Saraswati? So he turned around and he said, "You're looking at him." He was recognized as, the greatest jnani of his time. And somebody asked, "Where is Saraswati?" He says, "She's flowing through here, right here." Never did he take the compliment saying that it was me who did it. He always attributed it saying it was God. It is not me who is working, it is Saraswati who is flowing, who is expressing. So that is what is indicated in the next word. Anirdeshya vapuhu Shriman. Shriman. Shri means glory, Aishwarya. Now the one who is constantly connected with that Sri Hari, Vishnu, first thing, they need not run behind Lakshmi.